It's silly.
In the great words of Mean Gene Okerlund, we're live.
We're live, pal. Oh boy. Welcome to Regional Wrestling.
Yo, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to Regional Wrestling. This is Trent Ayatollah here, my tag team partner, CT, aka Titty Bang, man.
What's good?
Busy week, but it's been a great day. How's your day today, brother?
Day was a day. It was a day for sure. It was good to watch the show. It was good to watch all in Wembley. Definitely, I had to watch it on a little bit of a delay because I got home late, but got to most of the matches, so I'll be able to cover some of the matches, not every single thing, but I got to most of the big ones that I wanted to see at least, and I think that's all I can. Hey guys, come on, guys, I'm not the AEW guy, so you can honestly, I tried and I watched the matches I liked, and it was a lot of good stuff. So I want to just preface that. But if you don't know, we are a Regional Wrestling Podcast. We are the underground.
Okay, hold on.
What?
Catch your breath, my nigga. You're breathy.
We are the underground professional wrestling podcast. Okay, listen, man. I just was running back and forth trying to get my water for the show, so I'm just catching the breath. But yes, we are the Regional Wrestling Podcast. We are the underground professional wrestling podcast. Thank you for joining us. We're here to talk about All In and the week that was in professional wrestling. But before we get into that, follow us on all the medias associated, baby. We're on TikTok, Regional Wrestling Podcast. We're on YouTube if you're listening to this elsewhere. We're on Twitter if you're listening to this elsewhere, So check out also RW Podcast 1 on Twitter, or pretty much Regional Wrestling Podcast everywhere else. So just tap in.
Yes, and if you are on Twitter right now, which it looks like that we're picking up a little bit of viewers right now on Twitter, please, if you ever so kindly, just go over to our YouTube page, like, comment, subscribe on some of the videos.
Run it up. Run it up.
We're trying to do some things, you know what I'm saying? But
some things. And subscribe.
I mean, listen, just hit the little bell.
That's really what you should do.
You don't even gotta hit the You ain't even gotta hit the notification joint. Just hit the subscribe joint. You feel me? We'll appreciate that. I think first things first. It is August 25th. The past couple of days have been emotional for me personally. And I know it's kind of weird because I don't know none of these niggas personally. You know what I'm saying? But Wyndham's passing was Wyndham's 1 year anniversary. Passing was the 24th yesterday, and which was Kobe Bryant Day, which is 8/24, which is the day after his birthday, 8/23. So it's been kind of, you know what I mean. Kobe was my favorite player of all time. Bray Wyatt is one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Do we sometimes mourn people that we didn't know or we looked up to more than people we did know? Sometimes is that how we wired that way?
Unfortunately, I think sometimes that is because I think more like, so for me, like the biggest person that passed in my life was my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? And even though during the pandemic recently, my grandmother passed, my paternal grandmother passed, my grandma Nana. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's gonna hit me like my grandma Weezy, and I don't mean it like pig size, but I think I haven't really lost a lot of people for me to kind of mourn. You know what I'm saying? But I do know that, I mean, Kobe, the whole mom mentality and everything like that kind of speaks for itself if you just like embody that. But my life, and like, I'm not even joking, like revolves around Bray Wyatt. I wrote a fan fiction before we even knew each other. I was in Buffalo in my brother's apartment in the Mayfield Projects, my nigga, like watching his kids, after I broke up with my ex-girlfriend, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really was twiddling my thumbs. I never applied to Full Sail before. I never been to Orlando before to like visit. I strictly straight up was like, oh, this is my intro to WWE. I can possibly get this in the hands and WWE films and everything. I did all off the strength of Bray Wyatt. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
I came out here, met my best friend. I met my wife. I have my kids. I got a house. All that shit subsequently happened because I was inspired by Bray. So, I mean, it's kind of
No,
tough.
that makes sense. That makes sense. It's. I always say there's certain people. They say in the Deadpool movie there's anchor beings, or nexus moments, in a low key. I feel like in life we have nexus moments with people that we encounter, or people that or just gravitate towards in a sense in their artwork or art form.
Mind you, I met him in New Orleans,
Yeah,
and
you
and
did.
and just out of pure happenstance and starstruckness, I was wearing a Bray Wyatt shirt. I think you even got that Bray Wyatt shirt now. The Bray Wyatt
Oh
shirt.
yeah,
I was wearing a Bray Wyatt shirt. I saw his sister. They was like walking. I just shook his hand, but I didn't do the whole fan thing. I just met him
yeah,
as a person. I met him. He was there as Bray Wyatt, but he was out as Wyndham. You know what I'm saying? So I met him in the element of the person. So that's how I remember. Nipsey's the same way. No lie, bro. I met Nipsey at his Crenshaw store and bought from the Crenshaw store while he was there. Black Sam was eating Chinese food. I'll never forget the fucking day. Didn't ask for a picture, didn't say nothing. Just like, yo, a nigga from Buffalo came to see you, dapped him up, paid for my shit, and took a picture outside of the store showing people that I was there or whatever the case may be. But like, yeah, man, like them niggas is, I don't know how they do it, but I think that's how they become legends. You know what I mean? Like they
yeah,
inspire you somehow, some way. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. The week started off like that. The weekend started off like that. But Friday Night SmackDown was also the week after Alpha passing, which was
yeah,
6 weeks, 8 weeks after Sika passing. You know what I mean? Like so it's been Kevin Sullivan's passing,
yeah.
you know what I
That's
mean?
all too.
And
I
I
think it's good. I think
call myself
that
the Taskmaster. It's just been a lot of shit going on. You know what I mean? So you know,
I think it's good to just pay our respects to all those people, Kobe, Kevin Sullivan, Alpha Sika, and of course our God Wyndham, Bray Wyatt, for just being just doing the damn thing when it comes to this life thing and making a statement and showing your art to the world and impacting people in the way you do. So thank you to those men and women. Well, not well men. I'm about to say men and women, but men. They're all men. um, for your influence because you live on for real, like with the people that you touch. So thank you. And I don't want to harper, bring the moment down.
now
um
I was going to salute them with the bell salute, and we was going to
okay,
transition. You know
well,
what
no,
I'm
go ahead,
saying?
do your thing.
So I was going to give us a little 10 bell salute, but I figured that we'll keep it moving and fast pace. But I honestly like that. I did not want to start the show without kind of because that's been kind of something that's been on me. Yes, I wasn't. I told wifey like Friday, I'm like, I'm not soaking, just like I'm in my day. Like it's Bray Day.
Yeah,
What I'm saying? Like it's Bray Day. I want to watch old Bray matches and you know what I'm saying. Watch old Bray promos. I still got the fan fiction, pages that I wrote. You know what I mean? Like so, but it's not. It's not. I guess even in this moment right now, I think it's still settling because it's only been a year, but it's been so long. You know what I'm saying? And the excitement of having him back and everything like that. And I think that kind of blended in with wrestling. My excitement for wrestling kind of like this weekend, it was heightened. I wasn't really excited about much, but I knew that there was a lot going on. So, with that being said, I mean, SmackDown happened. We don't really have to get into that. Collision happened. Rampage happened. We don't really have to get into that. Everybody know we're here for. Reasonable Wrestling is all fucking in. All right. Reasonable Wrestling is
salute.
all
Salute
in.
to our guy Scotland. Thank you for tuning in.
What's up, brother?
Uh, we're here to just discuss all in. Throw in your takes as well, bro. We want to hear what you have to say on the show. If you watched it,
They
I
watched
thought,
it. I watched the show.
okay,
I
okay,
watched
cool,
the show
cool.
when we was on the phone earlier. I was chiming in. They was talking about it. My
How
man
you feel
Scott.
about Ricochet?
He fuck. How you about to say, nigga?
What's good? Your guy, your favorite guy, showed up. But yeah, man. I thought it was a good show, man. I thought it had some good surprises. Where you want to start, for real?
I think realistically, we can work our way through what we feel, but I think
Let's just go
there's
to the main event. Let's just talk about the main event. Let's go. Listen, man. Real quick, Skylar said he damn near quit the show when he popped out. Yeah, I loved it. I love it. I love the hate, dog. I love it. I love it, man. That's hilarious.
I think that ties into also that match. Shout out to you, Scotland, and
Yeah,
us being synced in that match in the main event. Um, I was trying to figure out where it was going to go with it because,
the main event.
well, once the casino battle, yeah, because the casino battle royal had a lot of big people.
Let's talk about that first. Then we'll go to the main event. But yeah, the
Okay,
Casino
okay.
Battle Royal. Yeah, I thought it had a lot of interesting tidbits to it. Nigel McGuinness made his in ring return in Wembley Stadium. I'm sure that was a big moment for him. Shout out to Nigel McGuinness,
That was the
a
biggest one.
ROH legend, and doing it in his home country. That's incredible. Then you know, I didn't because I didn't know if this was for like a contract for a like a title shot like next. Sometimes they be doing these things in AEW, where it's for a contract for a title shot next week after it. I'm like, this is the number one contenders match. Why is there like a whole like ring or contract? But this apparently you said it's going to be used as a money to bank briefcase where you can cash in ever whatever, right?
I believe that is what that this gauntlet match is for.
Okay. So, with that being said, let's get into it. Let's just tell people we got a bunch of people in the match, and
Fucking pockets in my Jim Cornette voice.
I'm not going through every single person in the match. There were some big surprises. Like I said, Nigel Guinness, Ricochet showed up. Ricochet is all elite, as we just mentioned with Scotland. About to quit the show because he showed up. Keeping the hate alive for Ricochet, but
Zack Sabre Jr., the G1
Jack Sabre
Classic
Jr.,
winner.
G1 winner. He's trying to cash in for the G1, later on, I think this year. He's not even trying to wait for Wrestle Kingdom. But shout out to Zack Sabre Jr. Should be challenging
Moxley dropped it, so he's challenging uh Naito,
Naito,
right?
right? I'm not sure. I'm not. Let me look that. I don't want to. I don't want to misinform because
Yeah,
IWG.
not yeah, yeah.
Okay, if
Moxley's not the
Moxley
champion
dropped it to Naito, okay. When
yeah,
did that happen? I missed that.
for Van
All right.
Doren.
Oh, of course. Yeah, it did. I saw that. I saw that. All right. So yeah, with Night. So, um, but the winner was Christian Cage. Let's go. Let's get into it. I saw when I'm seeing the match. I already had seen Christian Cage, Luchasaurus compete earlier in the night in the s- was it the 12-man match, 12-man ladder match.
It was a fucking carny show is what it was.
It was fun. It looked like
Yeah.
a lot of the shit hurt. It looked like those tables were not like real tables. I'm not sure if in the UK they just don't make tables the same. It's just like a piece of wood, a plywood from the fucking lumber yard, and so but they looked like it fucking hurt. But it was like some cool spots. One thing I took away from that is that Christian Cage is incredible in his character. Like he's been doing this for the past year. He's one of the most consistently credible characters in AEW that actually gets a reaction and is entertaining to me. So him, losing the Trios Championship early in the night, I wasn't expecting him to show up in the Casino Battle Royal, and I wasn't expecting Luchasaurus either. So they tease at the end of the Casino Battle Royal, is Lucha going to turn on him? No, he actually helps him win by choke slamming. Was it was it Pockets or was it somebody else?
I think I think I think it was Pockets or Cody.
Oh, Cody. So there were a lot of guys in the match that I was rooting for, but I know me personally, I'm not mad at the choice for Christian Cage because I understand the pick. I understand Christian Cage. He garners such a visceral reaction, and we still are waiting on that turn with Luchasaurus. And when the Luchasaurus does turn, I want to see Luchasaurus elevated into like a upper mid
like
card to
like
main event,
Wardlow.
not like Warlow. Please, let's not rehash the fumbling of Wardlow that AEW has done. So you guys have another chance here with the Luchasaurus. I'm telling you, the guy's completely he's one of the like best looking like characters as far as having a look that I think can get over as a babyface. He reminds me of the Kane of AEW. Like if they can treat him like Kane when he first came to WWE, but he's just way more athletic. He has potential to be a future AEW World Heavyweight Champion, but you got to protect him. So this turn didn't happen tonight. He helped Christian Cage secure the contract by winning the gauntlet. Now Christian Cage has the opportunity to compete for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at supposedly any given time. This could be the way to get Luchasaurus to finally turn on him, to screw him over eventually down the line when in a big moment, and to take his own, because they call him Kill Switch forever. We all know he's Luchasaurus, but take his name back. you know.
He better not go back to the goddamn Dino douche. Kill Kill Switch is such a more awesome name than that.
But you can't have your slave name after you leave the slave owner. You can't. You can't do it. Won't do it.
It's a
Can't
lot
do
of
it.
Johnsons and Smiths out here, my nigga. Those are slave names, my guy.
Oh shit.
Nigga,
I'm
I'm a
just
McLean. I ain't never known no nigga from me to go to Ireland.
yeah, okay. Let's have that deeper conversation for another day. But I will say this. Luchasaurus, I think, deserves a major push at some point later on this year, if not, early next year, off of the back of Christian Cage being in the main event scene. I think in some capacity. If Christian Cage and Brian Danielson, which we'll get to in a moment, have a feud, I don't think Christian Cage should win that feud. But as a result, I think Christian Cage should lose that feud due to a interference by the one and only
No,
Luchasaurus.
if they're telling the real, if they're telling the real like story, Brian does the job to Christian. I don't know why he doesn't do the job to Swerve, but I think he does the job to Christian only because Christian as the world heavyweight champion, as he was with the TNT title, with the type of attention that they gave him, with the type of TV time that they gave him, with the type of story telling that like you speak of right now that they gave him. I think him being a world champion, I think was signify and solidify his place within the company.
I'm
Um,
not mad at it, but if he's doing that, I want him to have a long run. That means that he's gonna have to have Luchasaurus behind him for another year or so.
no,
That's
you don't
what.
have to be a champion for a year. Absolutely not.
Okay, another at least like another 6 months to
Yeah,
it has to be a.
listen, 4 to 5 months. Swerve Championship was what, 6 months, 7 months, right? That like you can listen. I'm not saying you can. I'm not saying you have to hot potato it, right? I'm not saying that. Um, I'm not saying that. Like Christian gets it immediately, right? And I'm not saying that he loses it immediately after he gets it. I do believe that right now, as we get now into the main event, this was one of the most I guess, gratifying uh, matches because it really kind of solidified two things. Thank you, Swerve. I guess we should just first off just
First and
say that.
foremost, yeah, I
First
think
and
he had an
foremost,
incredible run.
like he had a
I was
really
telling
incredible run.
you know what, 3 months ago, I'm like, I'm really enjoying Swerve as champion, and how they're showing him on screen, how they're presenting him. It took a while, it took maybe a couple weeks for us to really feel like, okay, they're doing the right thing with him, but they finally got there,
And
and
I want to also. I'm sorry to cut you off. I know it's a lot of discourse, a lot of discussion, a lot of conversing when it comes to Swerve. Some shit that he said 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying?
there's still discussion about this.
I mean, unfortunately, yes. And the reason why I say unfortunately is because I don't know why we can't give grace for people to change. Or I don't know why we can't give people
Yeah,
grace in order for to see like, yo, we heard you. Like we're doing it with WWE. Like the product that you're actively watching, we were all saying and doing and boycotting and
yeah, exactly.
politicking and saying the same thing. We got black representation. We got a black champion. We got
Yeah,
black women.
right.
We
We're
got
right. This doesn't happen. That doesn't happen.
we
Yeah.
done already done that, So there's growth and evolution in the company. Why we can't give that to a person? Swerve said what he said. He then doubled down and explained what he said. He didn't sound condescending in my, estimation.
But I don't even know what we're talking about. But I will say this: whatever it
It's
is,
the list. It's
hopefully.
the list shit. The list shit that happened again. Like,
Oh my god, I'm done. I don't even want to address that because it's not worth.
but but the
Is it?
reason,
Is it? Because it has to be a vocal minority that's talking
but
about this.
the
Because it
only
has to be a
reason
vocal minority that even knows about the list.
the only reason why I'm discussing it and the reason why I'm addressing it is because that listen, the voice of the minority can be fucking loud and annoying and wrong. You can feel how you felt about a situation, my guy, but at the same time, and that's why I said thank you, Swerve, because he didn't switch. He,
Listen,
he,
I
didn't, he,
want to
didn't,
say
he,
something real
didn't,
quick.
he
I
didn't
want to say
switch.
something real quick.
He got where he
We,
got to as Shane Swerve Strickland.
I want to say something real quick because we've been around Swerve before, and I want people to understand that this guy is like a Kobe in the sense that like or a Jordan, I think he gets motivated by that kind of stuff. I think he gets a chip on his shoulder and wants to go further. And I think that's what motivated him to get to where he's at right now. And I think that he's understanding as he continues to mature that the responsibility of being a champion is heavy. And I think that it's not easy. And I think what he's done is take that title everywhere and get it seen on multiple platforms, on television screens, while having banger match after banger match, while taking care of his body, while getting bigger. And he's done it all. So when it comes to any negative discourse about his title reign, we ask for black representation. So when we finally fucking get it, let's not knock it down for some bullshit. I'm not gonna say bullshit, but for some comments that were made years ago that maybe we should just get over. Something, it's not like he killed anybody, bro. Let's relax. Everybody, like you said, can grow. Let's have some grace. The dude had an incredible title run. I said one of the best AEW champions I've seen.
And
Honestly,
if, and if
the
not
guys
Swerve,
the guys he defeated in his round were dogs,
bro, but
real.
if not Swerve, who? Right? If we asking for the black representation, especially in that company, because that company also has been under scrutiny, and I've been one of the ones, and I came to the other side. I was like, all right, man, this shit can, it can go. You know what I'm saying? But with that being said, Ricky Starks, Will Hobbs, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not like they haven't been, like Swerve really brought in new eyes. He brought in new audience. He
Good,
brought in
good.
new, like he was able to really
Yeah, and
diversify
he's
the
still doing it.
palette of
He
wrestling.
comes out to the ring with West Side Gun with Bun B rapping his music in Wembley Stadium, bro. That was an incredible entrance, man. There's a lot of incredible entrances tonight, but the fact that he's bringing hip hop and he's so true to himself, I think that he's found himself in AEW more than I've ever seen it. Whether it was in MLW, NXT, WWE, this feels like he's created this.
But I
or
also
around him
don't.
as Swerve.
But
You know,
I wanna. That's why I wanted to say this solidified two things for me. We've saw the growth of Shane Swerve Strickland in MLW, right? Like,
so I think that we saw like super, we saw potential because he was a champion. There, he was the
no,
head.
no, no. I like that was, and that's the reason why I wanted to bring it here. Yes, we saw potential, but we saw the makings of what he did in AEW, right?
Of course, but I think but even then, like even then, I saw his promos in you know, we've edited his promo in MLW. He is nowhere near the same character or nowhere near the same on the microphone and the confidence he brings, you know, when he presents himself. So we saw that, okay, they chose him for a reason in MLW. Absolutely. We can see that they chose him for a reason to be their inaugural champion. Makes
Swerve
perfect
is
sense.
confident has been his name though, so that's why I
But
did.
it's
That's
one
why I want to say it.
saying a name and saying a moniker and representing it on screen consistently are two different things.
But this also full circle conversation. This goes back to growth.
Yeah,
This goes back to evolution. To your point, he spoke the words, I'm confident, I'm confident, I'm
manifested.
confident, I'm confident, I'm confident. And then he grew into that.
Yeah,
And when he was Isaiah Scott, right, that wasn't really Swerve Strickland. Right? Everywhere we've kind of seen the molding of what Swerve Strickland could be and what he would be, but I think he had to get the real confidence and the backing. And so that's why I say shout
yeah.
out to Swerve. Like, he took the bull by the horn when he came out there and cut that promo on Adam Page and said, "I want your spot."
That was a game changing moment for his career. I think that one promo for real. It's like almost like his Austin 316 moment. Like, and, you know, I'm not saying it's the same thing, but
No, but
there was a pivot.
yeah, it catapulted him. Yeah,
Yeah,
like my nigga, like he changed him and his daughter's lives with that fucking promo. Don't get me wrong, signing WWE, but when I'm
yeah.
saying a fucking world champion traveling the world with your name ringing bells the way it do, he like
And he
this.
unapologetically said, "I want to be the first black AEW champion," and manifested, and it did it, and he fucking did it, and he took Hangman's spot. Like that's what makes it so ill. How he did it. He came out there, called his shot, and fucking did it over the past year. So, like you said, thank you, Swerve. Hats off to you. Congratulations. You did what you came to do, and you have elevated the company and elevated the company for people that look like us as well, to be ourselves.
And so with that being unfortunately the B side, the A side, this match solidified that Brian Danielson is the greatest professional wrestler, sports entertainer we've seen in this generation.
It's something different about that guy, man.
Bro, that nigga is what?
He's ill. He's
What?
ill.
That
There's so,
nigga is,
there's very few people that can draw so much emotion the way that Brian Danielson can do it.
bro.
And
You know it's coming. Pause.
yeah, yeah,
Pause. Like you watching the match, you like, the kick. Oh, the kick. 1, 2, so jam driver. Oh, 1, 2, 3. You like,
yeah,
oh, this motherfucker. And then
yeah,
he got him in the label, like I'm like Swerve going to flip him over and pin him because he got to get his win back.
yeah.
And he tapped, and you
That
like, oh, this nigga pulled out again, again.
yeah. So it was a moment, man. It was a moment. Shout out to Brian Danielson and just all the work he's put into. First of all, stay away from all the drama in AEW and Swerve too, and to hold this place of and to make such a main event matter in the way that it does in such a big stage, with the whole thing with his retirement looming and all that stuff, and
Brian
bringing his
has
family out there.
taken me thinking Kurt was the GOAT.
Woo, that's a strong statement. That's a strong statement, man. I think Brian's up there. Brian Danielson feels like he's like a Kendrick Lamar to me. Like when he comes out, it's poetic art every single time, and you
Yo,
can't, you
speaking of
know,
Kendrick, we haven't talked, nigga. I'm sorry. We haven't talked. I fucking finally. topped my record, cuz.
Woo!
Got my record, cuz.
Spin it, brother.
You
You gotta
know
spin that
what I'm
one, man.
saying?
When I come through, we gotta spin that one, man.
Yo, this is a
That's
fucking
ill.
classic, bro. This is
Fucking
a
real.
classic.
Good
And
Kid,
I
Mad
was,
City. Honestly, it's hard to choose his albums, but that's probably one or two.
I was,
It's probably Damn, then Good Kid, Mad City, then Mr. Morale.
I
Even though
spun
I love
this,
Section 80.
I spun this yesterday through. It's two disc double side A B C D. I spun it all the way through, cleaned the garage, smoked a joint, and I'm like, yo, this shit is Nas's. It is written right now. Everybody knows that Illmatic is Nas's debut, but it was written as Nas's fucking.
10.
You know what I'm saying? Like
All
that shit
crazy.
is. But and this is it was written to Pimp a Butterfly. Everybody knows Good Kid, Mad City. I got that on record too. I think over there somewhere too. I got Good Kid, Mad City. Everybody know Good Kid, Mad City is the debut of Kendrick Lamar, expression of Kendrick Lamar. But this the Pimp a Butterfly album is fucking amazing. And to your
That
Brian
is,
Danielson point,
yeah.
that he can make any fucking album, bro. He can fucking hit you with
Uh,
the first time I ever seen him, Ring of Honor
yeah,
classics with fucking Christopher Danielson, Nigel McGuinness, aforementioned, Samoa Joe, goddamn AJ Styles, nigga, early Kenny Omega, Tyler Black,
yeah,
whoever you want to name, my nigga, I give you a fucking Good Kid, Mad City. And then I give you the fucking To Pimp a Butterflies and the goddamn Dams over in WWE because WrestleMania is damn, right? Commercial
yeah,
success. You're at
yeah.
the top of WrestleMania, my nigga. Like you done it all,
That's your Randy Orton Batista moment right there. You
bro.
know that's that. You know before that, you had your To Paper Butterfly with the Miz and NXT's and the Intercontinental Championship run and all the
The Bray
the Bray
Wyatt
Wyatt
feud
stuff.
and
Yeah,
everything.
but it really he whatever he touches turns to gold for real. Brian Danielson. That's why it's so hard to really think that like damn this could be the end of his real consistent run as a wrestler. But I completely understand it and respect what he's doing for his family. I thought it was kind of gangster to have them front row while you're bleeding and having Swerve stomp your face in front of them. Like that's a choice you got to make, right? Artistically to do for not just the fans, but like for the match. Like it I thought it was kind of tough for me watching that, but because the kids are going to cry, they're crying and everything. I'm like, damn, Brie and Brian Danielson. And then after the match, you see him with his kids, he's bleeding and shit, taking pictures.
It's like Foley and Royal Rumble
Noel.
with Rocky, right? Where Dewey and Nicole don't
Yeah,
know Daddy out here working.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And and over time they had to know Daddy worked. But Birdie and goddamn Buddy, like, man,
yeah,
somebody shoot this nigga.
yeah,
London, where's he going? What,
yeah.
what's that, London? You know what I'm
And and
saying?
and Swerve, to bring that aggression. And one thing I like about the Swerve character is he's um he's very much willing to go there. He's willing to take the next, do what it takes to get the victory. He's willing to take the next, like hitting him with the Death Valley driver onto the bell. Even though he was a babyface leading all the way up to this, eventually trying to like really stamp himself by beating, the American Dragon. Fuck it. I'll do it. There's no like, nah, I'm not trying to beat you clean. Fuck that. I'm trying to hold on to my championship and win it. I can stomp your face out in front of your kids. I like that Swerve is consistent that he's willing to take it from nowhere. Unlike, Will Ospreay, who's like, should I do the Tiger Driver? I don't know. Swerve is gonna do what he needs, what it takes, and he's been consistent with that since he's been in AEW. Whether it's stomping Keith Lee with a center block, whether it's choking Hangman Page out from he's gonna take it somewhere that's unexpected, and then him hitting him with the psycho knee and Swerve just getting right back up and wiping that shit off hard. That shit was dope. So the match had beats that just strung out the emotion. And man, both of these competitors
Yo,
are like, incredible.
you know what's crazy? Connect. I'm talking to you. I'm sorry for cutting you off.
Go ahead.
but we got synergy that I can connect some things. When you say beats, I just sent you a link that I had saw online where on Twitter. I think I sent it to the WhatsApp. Um,
South Park dudes.
the South Park dudes, and they was
Yeah.
talking about beats, and they were saying how every beat should not be and then.
Hmm.
Every beat should be a therefore,
A but.
a
Yeah.
and
Cause. Yeah.
because, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. So therefore, and because now, you know what I'm saying.
Uh,
Like so, um, in the matches there was a lot of and then therefore, you know what I'm
hmm
saying, and
Yeah.
because that therefore, right,
Yeah.
and the ebbs and flows of the match was really fantastic to see.
When we
um
were shooting his music videos, I went and told him to like when we were at his set, I was like, "Yo, how you tell the story in the ring, I really fuck with it," because it really stood out to me even in then in NXT. But I'm seeing the evolution of Swerve, and then you pairing him with such a savant and Brian Danielson. Boom! It's a match made in heaven. Now the finish, like you said, tapping. Didn't expect it, but but I respect it. I respect giving this legend and Brian Danielson that clean victory from in front of his family in Wembley, such a big in a stadium. That could be his last big match. We don't know when we will see a big match from him again. At least I don't know. I'm really confused on the whole Brian Danielson retirement thing. Maybe I'm out of loop.
well,
I
i
don't know.
think i think i think it's not really, I don't want to make it seem like it's a thing, but I think his biggest point to his family was that he wasn't going to go all like full time, right? All out. It's pretty much like, hey, I'm not going into work, but I'll be working from home type thing.
Is
So
he
it's
still
not like,
wrestling?
yeah, he's not working full time.
Okay,
He's not. He's not. It's not like I'm not. I'm not.
I'm cool with that. I
I think,
mean, I'm fine. I think Brian Danielson shouldn't have been working full time to begin with, to be in my opinion.
but
But
I think to your to kind of the story that we're talking about, right? This kind of Mr. Morale situation that we're in right now at AEW, where he's bearing himself. He's been out with injury
yeah,
also this whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like the orbital bone, the arm. Like there's a lot of pain and suffering throughout these
yeah,
last couple of years as he's trying to paint this last kind of picture of himself. He's trying to paint this last kind of painting of this blank canvas because AEW was a blank canvas for him. He came in and immediately Kenny Omega, immediately Adam Hangman Page, immediately MJF, immediately John Moxley. It's been hit after hit after hit after hit. Now again, he's missed the elusive championship, but still,
but that just makes it part of the story. That makes tonight
exactly. But he's been
so
a
so
very a super
yeah.
valuable part of the
hmm
company.
Yeah.
And the time that he missed, we missed because I still believe if Danielson is there for All Out last year, Punk is still in AEW.
Maybe. You don't know.
No, I'm for sure because I think when we're talking about legitimate, I think things that like we talk about missing the boat all the time. We talk about it with WWE, we talk about it with AEW, we talk about it all the time. Danielson and Punk was a missed boat in AEW that could have really rolled the tides of the high that the company was on at the time. And I know we're doing a whole bunch of whataboutisms, but the point that I'm making is that Danielson lifts the boats of others, and I think
Oh,
he's able.
100%. Yeah.
I think he is able to stabilize a lot of things because currently, right now, he's a stabilizer. Swerve was really battling having a feud that mattered uh, to kind of bolster this championship run that he was having. No
I mean,
disrespect.
I'm gonna tell you again. I like the Christian Cage feud. I know everybody. You were saying that wasn't like what you wanted, but I like that feud, and I like the Will Ospreay feud as well. I thought that okay. I thought it was weird the way they did it because the championships that Will Ospreay was holding and everything like that. But the match itself was incredible. And what why they did it, I thought it was kind of like you didn't have to do it.
But I
But
think that goes back to when we talk about beats and storytelling. Here we go, connectivity, right? The therefore and the because took me out of the frame of right. You can have good animation, you can have great post production, you can
oh my
have great
god,
casting. You know what I'm saying? But if the story don't get me there, then like I'm watching this movie and it don't really click.
AEW, that's the key right there. They have a bunch of and thens in their storytelling. And then this, and then that, and then this, and then that. And then we're going to do championships. And then we give it to this person. Then we give it to that person. There's no the because the but this happened, then why something happens. They're missing a lot of that in fluff, in the between. Like we can move on to the next match I would like to talk about, and it's MJF and Will Ospreay, the aforementioned Will Ospreay. The match itself, awesome, man. There was a lot of referee knockdowns, but for the performance itself,
I
MJ.
fucking hate that referee.
Why?
He takes away from the match so much. And I know I apologize, but this ain't just right. This is 100 proof. So I'm a little bit more fucked up than I am usually. You know what I'm saying? But when you say that was a good match, it was a good match. It was. I watched it. I know that you watched it back and everything like that.
Mhm,
I
mhm.
watched it in real time, and the
I got to hand it.
referee
Go ahead and finish your.
awareness just took
But that,
me out.
that's an AEW issue across the board. The referee almost doesn't matter in some portions of the match. Some portions of the match, the referee just. I've seen a referee stand there, watch somebody hit a low blow, and not call it. I've seen somebody hit somebody with a weapon, and the referee like, "Hey, you shouldn't do that." Yeah, I've seen that happen in AEW multiple times. Now, this here, I didn't see an egregious mistake by the ref. What moment were you talking about specifically? Because I didn't that didn't point out to me. What to me was that they
Well,
used the ref.
he got the well. I mean, when he got turned around when they had the belt situation. He got knocked down.
Yeah,
Uh,
I know what
and,
you mean.
and
There's
with the
multiple
thing
times.
with the switchblade, then he was out the ring, and like he's just spot like even when he was turned around, miraculously, like on fucking cue turns around. One, so I'm like, nigga, if you was that aware, why you were watching the motherfucking match? Why you was
Yeah, man, that was
he
funny.
on the floor for goddamn 17 minutes?
Tiger
He
driver, he
was
slides in.
the Tiger driver. I'm like, is he gonna fucking make it? Like, do it.
Yeah, I would have liked if he was took his time actually there. If the referee took his time, I know people are like, oh, maybe that's burying MJF, but it puts over the move. If he took his time to get in the ring and then still hit the three, because it puts over the devastating move of the Tiger Driver, which was the premise of the whole story to begin with. So him just hopping in the ring and hitting the three right after the Tiger, I can see what you mean about the how the
No,
flow of
but
the
that
match
wasn't.
was.
But I'm gonna be honest. He
But my
didn't.
biggest thing I
He,
didn't like
go ahead.
was the Daniel Garcia thing. Like I'm just it's a and then it's not a because it's not a why
Stop it.
I'm not don't get me wrong,
Stop
I
it.
like Daniel Garcia. We are fans of him here on this pod, but I want to see Will Ospreay win this match because he hit the Tiger Driver without interference from fucking Daniel Garcia. Like they could save that moment for like all out or even like on Rampage. I mean not Rampage, on Dynamite, whatever. Even Rampage, I don't care. But my thing is, I came to see this match, and I want to see Will Ospreay have to do something that he wasn't supposed to do. But he wouldn't have gotten that move off if it wasn't for Daniel Garcia. Like if he didn't, So that's how I feel. There's
I don't
still
want.
there's
I don't think that's. I don't think that's fair. And to your point, that's not true. He was gonna hit the move. We knew he was gonna hit the move.
I'm
I,
talking about the reality of
I,
the situation.
the,
I
rea-
mean,
the,
the
the
reality
reality
situation is
is
that. MJF was gonna hit him with the ring, knock him out, and pin him. And then they are Garcia shows up with a mask. I don't know why you're wearing a mask.
Well,
Takes it off as if we are like it's a big some reveal. It's not really.
it
And he
was a big
punches.
reveal. Daniel Garcia was a. I mean, did you not hear the? I'm not. I don't know if you. I don't know if you've been paying attention. I don't know if you were really paying attention as you was watching it. It was a good reaction. Damn, I feel like feel like Meltzer and Alvarez. Let me calm it down a little bit. Hold on.
I mean, you're not even letting me say my point, but go for it. You said it was a good
I mean,
reaction. Go ahead.
you said that you don't like the Daniel Garcia thing, and you ran over my point that the referee shit was more egregious than fucking Daniel Garcia. I mean, the Daniel Garcia
I didn't
actually
run
really
over your point.
tweaking the shit.
I co-signed you and said, "Hey, this would be better if they did it this way." And then I also brought up my point on what I think the match could have been better. At the end of the day, it was incredible for MJF and Will Ospreay. Love the match. Love the take. My favorite spot was the MJF catching him and hitting him with the tombstone on the outside, like the midair. He did the backflip over the rope, caught him and hit him with a tombstone. That shit is fire, yo. So like there's a couple of moments in there that I just thought, obviously showing off the athletic prowess of Will Ospreay, incredible, and showing off the athleticism of MJF that they hit beat for beat. It was really good. So I'm not trying to nitpick, but storyline wise, I would prefer the Daniel Garcia reveal to happen at a later date. That's just me. Say that you like it, and that's
Storyline wise,
fine.
Daniel Garcia was supposed to have this fucking match at Wembley. That's the storyline. That's what I'm trying to say. That's what I'm trying to say.
I
That's why I'm
remember.
trying to, like. I don't know if you missing the. I don't know if like you just don't care for the story. You know, but they had a match uninterrupted, 59-58. Right? They had a fucking hour goddamn match with no interruption, no Daniel Garcia title change and everything like that. Like this was warranted. And to the point that they made a statement before, that's why I said I don't know if he was watching or listening. They was like, "Hey, someone went and stole MJF's diamond ring." So because the diamond ring was the reason why he won the match in the first place. So my point is that as you say, yeah, MJF was going to hit him with the thing in 1, 2, 3. Yeah, we seen that shit already. That's the whole reason why that Danny Garcia is part of the match and why he played a part in the match. But again, we ain't gotta like everything, and like you say, we ain't nitpicking. But I thought it was not less egregious than the goddamn referee, and I thought that it played
Only
a
reason why
part
I'm saying
in the
this because
story.
it's not, and I'm being nitpicky. I'm being honest with you. Only reason why I'm saying this though is because if you're building the match around the Tiger Driver, then I don't need the Daniel Garcia thing. I don't want both. It's one or the other. You know, I don't want. And maybe that's nitpicking. You can look at me crazy all you want. If you're building the match around the Tiger Driver, I want him to hit him with the Tiger Driver and just win
How
the
would
match
they build the match around
out.
Danny Garcia's return, though,
You're
brother?
not
I'm
listening, bro.
asking. I am listening. You said if they're building around the Tiger Driver, you don't want both. I heard you. I'm asking you if they were building, how would they build around Danny Garcia's return if that was the option that they went with? Because clearly you're saying that you don't mind the option, you just don't mind the option in combination with the other option. So if they didn't build the match around the Tiger Driver, how would they build around Danny Garcia's return
Listen,
to
you can
Wembley?
give me if you give me a better impetus for MJF attacking him to begin with, rather than just being, "Oh, I just felt like it because I'm a scumbag." Then yeah, then we could have more substance behind the Daniel Garcia to begin with. We can go back and rehash the entire inciting action. So I can do that at a later. I don't want to go into all that, but for what they did, I'm nitpicking. That's what I thought. Like I think that it could have been one or the other. If you're building, and at the end, yeah, he did hit the Tiger Driver. It looked cool, and he won the match. The referee jumped in and hit the three. Throughout the match, it was a good match. Now we got an international champion, Will Ospreay again. They brought in a new belt, which is cool. Um, but let me ask a question that goes back to the first match, and maybe I am missing something here. Is Pac a part of the Blackpool Combat Club?
Who fucking cares?
Just answer my question, yes or no. Is he? Do you know?
I don't fucking know.
This is why I care. You have a opening match for Wembley. Pac wins. He gets the titles. Now he's a trios champion with two guys from the Blackpool Combat Club. At the end of the night, Brian Danielson wins the match. He's out there with them, holding the trios championship with Brian Danielson. I thought we had an opportunity for a Englishman versus Englishman feud off of Will Ospreay stealing his moment. Now you give him a championship, it's not quite the same thing. It's not quite the same thing. You give him a championship, now he's in this trios thing, and I think it's the same thing I see with the whole Will Ospreay being an international champion while going after Swerve. I don't like that. I want to have the guy chasing be hungry, and that was what I wanted for Pac. I want him to be so hungry that he's willing to do what it takes to defeat Will Ospreay at All Out. And now we might get that match still, but I don't like the fact that now he's palling around with the BCC. I would have put him in a freaking. I would put it. You can put him inside the casino battle royale or the gauntlet. That's fine. But him winning a championship is him getting a moment in Wembley. So it just takes away the entire punch out of that feud that I think you had right for you, like handed to
That
you.
that feud doesn't matter in America. That feud only matters if you built it to Wembley. So
No,
that
no, it matters for America. He said it in the promo. Yo, whoever wins, I'm gonna see you at All Out. You stole my moment. I'm the number one contender. He said this stuff, and his promo was like, "I'm the number one contender." Now you jumped the line in front of me because I already won the number one contendership. Will Ospreay gets to jump the line and get a rematch before me being next in line. He talked his shit. I fuck with Pac's promos and he did it, but now it's kind of him getting a moment at Wembley. Kind of takes a punch out of him saying, "You took my moment." You feel me? I don't think that's crazy. It's for this next feud that he's going to be in with Will Ospreay. So I think that you could like I think you could better tell these stories. I think that now if you get a Will Ospreay versus Pac at All Out, it's not as you know. We'll see. We'll see the build. Maybe he's going to be kicking to high gear, but I think you had a layup with him taking his spot at Wembley in his home country. That's all I'm saying. In
I
their home.
mean, that's understandable and that's acceptable. Um, I think him having a championship did that. To, I know you said you didn't like it with Osprey. That didn't make him any less hungry to have it. So I
I
don't
mean,
think.
it's a matter of how you tell the story. And you said just now about how you didn't like the way they told the story and the beef and all of that
Well, I
story.
mean,
You're
I
saying
think
you had a layup with this one, but by keeping one guy titleless and momentless in Wembley, because I feel like Tony Khan, like just like let's give fan service while pleasing the guys in the back. Oh, so even though it makes no sense for Pac to be in the Blackpool Combat Club winning a trios championship when he's clearly a Death Triangle member who has faced these guys in the past. And I don't know, maybe I missed the correlation on how they united. Okay, but they're doing it. To me, it seems like they're telegraphing a moment just because it's his home country. Let's get him to climb a ladder and take some titles down. That kind of feels like manufactured and forced because these guys weren't a group. So you feel me? So you're not only manufacturing this moment for Pac, you're also by giving him this moment, taking this theme out of all the reasons why he would go hard against Will Ospreay for the international championship because now you can't say he stole your moment if you already had a moment at Wembley. You feel me? So to me, there's just it's incongruent on what you have. You had a layup for a really good storyline, and now it's just like, all right, we'll see where they go. I'm not saying
no,
they can't fix it, but we'll see where they
no,
go.
that's understood because I honestly did not think that they were going to win it. I didn't think that Pac and them was going to win it.
I didn't think
Um,
so either, man.
yeah,
I,
it was.
but shout out to one guy that sticks out every single time. Um, uh, Brody King, man, I'm a big fan of that guy. Brody King, man, I still wish he went to WWE because I think that He probably would have had some classic matches with Gunther, classic matches with Braun Breaker if he was in NXT. I think he would be a main event star on his own. I think he can. I think he can carry a program on his own. He seems like he has a look, a style in the ring. He's unique. So I would love to see what they would do with him as a single star. Even in AEW, they tried it in the Continental Classic tournament. He did his thing. So I'm a fan of Brody King. I just want to say I want to see him get pushed. Just want to check that guy out.
That was a good match. I mean, it
Yeah.
was like I said, it was a car wreck, but that was a good match. What also was a car wreck was the triple threat tag team match. That I was That's some really good spots. Um, my energy's kind of down because I'm a little drunk now, but I'm sweating like a motherfucker. But I do want to get this point off with the Young Bucks.
All right, let's go. So we were talking. Actually, I was watching the match while I was
Hmm.
at brunch, and I'm looking at the Young Bucks work and move and how they get in and out of their motions with other tag teams, how they highlight the other tag team in the match. And I said to Chris in a text message, I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what anyone says. I'm saying it right here now. If I haven't said it before, the Young Bucks are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. The way that they highlight their opponents and the way that they also get their shit off is incredible. And I just want to give these guys their flowers. Not only that, they know their character. They know how to be hated. They know how to be obnoxious, and they hit it every single time. The reason why people hate on them so much is because they're fucking good at their jobs. They're really good at it. Now, I may not like every storyline they've been in. I may not like even the the way they book, because if they're in charge of the tag division, sometimes I can be like, all right, the tag division needs more love, and they're kind of holding it stagnant. But for as a tag team in that ring, the Young Bucks are one of the greatest tag teams in the world, and I don't want I don't even understand how people don't see it at this point. That's all I'm trying to say.
I will be one of the people who don't see it, and um, I will agree with you though. Before I'll go and disagree with you and say, but I'll reverse the order in which you said it. They're going to get their shit off, brother. That's number one. They're going to get their shit off, and if you can keep up, you'll be highlighted while doing so. So FTR can keep up. Today, the
I am
acclaim
too. They
was
did their
able to
thing.
keep up. We've seen people who weren't able to keep up in a private party wasn't able to keep up. We saw the Lucha Bros.
They were keeping up, and
They,
I want to go to that. I'm glad you brought the Lucha Bros up because you also said they haven't had a classic match. They've had like three with just Lucha Bros. They've had one
I,
with Kenny Omega
I,
and Hangman Page.
I asked you, please to name me more than two matches that you can refer me to that were good tag matches where them niggas held a tag rope.
What the hell is that?
I asked you for you to say that they're one of the greatest. And the reason why I challenge you that is because listen, Chidi, like tag team wrestling is your babe. Like we talking
Oh,
about, we talking about tag, not tornado tag, not goddamn Home Depot matches tag,
Escalera de la
not
Muerte.
them. We not talking about goddamn fatal. We not talking about triple threat, quadruple. We talking 1-on-1.
Young Bucks, Briscoes, ROH, Super Card of Honor. It was like I think the year before we went, they had a really good banger with them. Classics, really, and it's a tag match. Now do they do better when there's freedom to create? Yeah, but that's part of their specialness. That's part of their sauce is that they have innovated as well. Are they a traditional tag team? No. That's why they work so well with the freaking Revival or the FTR, because they are like a traditional tag team. So the styles of those two tag teams coming together is always kind of magic, so it works. So I just think that people downplay the Young Bucks because of the flips and the gimmicks and the being the elite and all that stuff, and they don't see the substance in what they've done and created. Like there's a lot of great shit they do in that ring that probably a lot of tag teams can't do and replicate. And and honestly, with them in a more structured environment like a WWE, still would be one of the best tag teams in the world. I do think that they can do that. It's not like they can't you know? And I think I've seen that with the Hangman Page and Kenny Omega match. So I know that that's not like their go-to. And at some point, the ref is going to lose control of the match most of the time because they're going to get their shit off. But their shit is fucking fire a lot of the times. And then when we think something's going to happen and they swerve us and they do something else, they know how to sway the crowd, and they know how to get the crowd going and then sway them. So I gotta hand it to Young Bucks, man. They're incredible, man. And I know I may sound redundant, but they're one of the best tag teams in the world, man. I don't know what to say.
I mean, I I'm not gonna downplay their talent or their athleticism or their ability to kind of move the crowd and engage the crowd. When we talk about traditionalism, right? I don't want to be the one who falls under that. Hey, man, like, listen, you see who I am. I see what I look like. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not traditional at all. You know what I'm saying? What I do want to say though is in the art of the storytelling that we're talking about, or the art of the profession that we're talking about, and the art within the art, right? There's an art within the art, and that's within tag team wrestling, right? We're talking about DIY American Alpha, or we're
Yeah.
talking about Usos New Day, or we're talking about Usos
Even
Wyatt
Street Profits
Family.
and DIY a couple weeks ago.
Bro,
That
I
was
mean,
incredible.
or we talking Street Profits New Day, or we talking
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? We like is it's there is a standard and modern tag team wrestling. And I know we're talking about how they revolutionized the game and everything like that, but I think for me, right, even I remember when they introduced three-way tag matches and they had the opponents on the outside of the ring and you still had to make the tags. Right? Just give me an element of that. Right? Just
And that's a fair critique. If you're not seeing the, like we talked about last week, you talked about the psychology, learning why you run the ropes, getting back to why we're making the tag, when we're making the tag, and structuring the tag match in that way. Maybe that's a fair critique for the Young Bucks, and I completely see people, and I get where they're coming from when they say they're not doing the things that really highlight what the differences between the tag match and everything else in the card. You feel me? So, but I think that what they
because
do is
that is without a shot of a doubt. There wasn't a lot of tag matches on the card for one, and for two, the tag matches were able to structure and you were able to get the crowd going a certain type of way than you could in a singles match,
yeah,
right? You're like, you got stumping on a damn ropes, and you got the damn
hot
pulling down
tag.
somebody with
Yeah.
a hot tag. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
they
You
do
got
that still, but it happens, and now they're heels too, so they're even going further off into their own thing. So I think when they're baby faces, we get more of that stuff for sure. But
they
they're
are
better
sympath-
as
they
heels, to be
are
quite honest.
sympathizing. Right, they're not sympath. They're not very good sympathizers.
They're better as heels, bro. It's easy to hate these guys.
Yeah, if
But shout
somebody's
out
beating the shit out of Nikki, I'm like, yeah, and whoop Maddie's ass too.
Yeah, but shout out to the Young Bucks. I just wanted to give them some of their flowers because I really enjoyed their performance tonight. Of course, STR and Acclaim did the damn thing too, and then we got the return or the debut of the Gritzel Young Veterans in AEW taking out FTR. So I'm a big fan of theirs in NXT. So I'm glad to see what they can do off the leash. Go ahead.
Um, Let's talk about one of the two women's matches. Which one you want to go with first?
Let's go with the Blondies. That's the one that I watched first.
It's the only yeah. It was second on the card, so it caught me off guard.
Yeah,
We had Timeless, Tony Storm, and the Glamour Mariah. I'm like, where the fuck does Glamour shit come from? I ain't never known her to have that name.
yeah. They just picked it like 2 weeks ago. She just did a promo where she was like, came out as a black glamour, and then she did one the next week where she burnt all of Tony Storm shut. So it's just a little moniker they're adding to her to spice up the Mariah May gimmick. Mariah May is our new AEW Women's World Champion. I want to say thank you to Tony Storm because she's been so entertaining for so long. Another person like Kristen Cage and Swerve who have been so consistent with their character that has been kind of been the backbone of the entertainment of AEW's entertainment. Man, they don't miss when they're out there. So Tony Storm, shout out to her and her run as women's champion has been one of the more entertaining runs that I've seen from AEW. And I think she's brought an extra level of prestige. And the story she told with Mariah May, I didn't get all the way because I was kind of catching up to the story. But from what they did, I really enjoy it when you get the backstory of what they were referencing and the tea leaves and what they kind of gave the Easter eggs of what they were doing with the references to the movies and all that stuff. I gotta hand it to the artistry of what they were doing as a story. So I'm always gonna co-sign, being out there and taking it the extra mile with the story. Did it deliver? Absolutely. The match delivered. I really, really, really enjoyed the match. I enjoyed the drama in the match. I enjoyed Mariah May having that edge, and then slapping the shit out of her mom, like, and then having Tony, you know, essentially Hulk up and bust her open for touching her family. So and getting that aggression out on her and still getting her busted open the way that she busted her open previously. I loved it all. However, Mariah May pulled out the victory. I am not the biggest Mariah May fan. I'm getting to know her as a character, getting to know her also as a wrestler. But this was the first time I can say like this match was delivered. I do see a lot of similarities in her style and Tony, so I wonder where she's gonna go next. She might need a Willow Nightingale or somebody to like, I don't know, just get a really good baby face on the opposite side of her to really get the best out of her because I think that she has more to offer. But I personally wouldn't take the title for Tony, but I'm willing to see where it goes.
Why wouldn't he take the title off with Tony?
I I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm not the one to say why, but in my personally, I mean this might be because of my own fault. I don't see Mariah May as the top woman on the roster right now. I think she has ways to go to really captivate us as a character and in
You
the
know
ring.
who you said that about? That made their return to a big fucking pop.
Okay, in
You
her own
goddamn hater,
in her own country, no less. So I feel you. So you're gonna be a pop. That's cool.
bro. She looked amazing.
Shout out Jamie Hayter.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes. So I agree though with Mariah May. I'm slow on the draw as far as her appeal. Especially knowing that this was the driving force in her coming here. From what I was, reading on the tea leaves and everything like that.
Uh-huh.
This story with Tony Storm was mapped out. It was something that was pitched.
Yeah,
It was something that was like, when you come here, we're doing this type thing. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? The
And it's good to
office
see
is
it come to fruition. And
really.
no, I was just saying it was good for it to see it like come to fruition after all this time. And I like when you stick to a plan and it comes down and it worked. These like a lot of people were into it. The turn worked. Only thing I didn't like about the turn is that the week before they did kind of a thing. They did a bloody mess to Van Daniel Garcia, which kind of like okay back to back, ending the show the same way. could have taken a little bit punch at it the next time doing it. But other than that, um,
Yeah, but the thing about it, nobody gave a fuck about Daniel Garcia. Everybody gave a fuck about Tony Storm, and I think realistically, when you're talking about week to week engagement, week to week attraction, week to week kind of like what it is, I don't mind it because it when we came back next week to get MJF promo as to why, we ended up getting that at the end of that. And
mhm.
then when we had to subsequently they was able to squeeze out damn near 3-4 weeks of us goddamn like let's turn and see what the motherfuckers talking about today. So you know what I'm saying? So I hear what you're saying, but how they did it was because
Yeah.
I'll be listening to them ratings come in and they tell stories about them numbers, boy.
Numbers don't lie, they say, you know. But yeah, I want to just give a shout out to both of these ladies, and I'm going to be in tune to see Mariah May continue to grow as a performer. Wasn't very familiar with her when she came to AEW, so I'm really over the past year. Let's see where she goes, you know. Um, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, Jamie Hayter's back, you know. We'll see where she goes too. You know, maybe she's next up.
Jamie Hayter and Mariah May banger. Jamie Hayter has not had a bad match. Unlike the next person I'm going to talk about,
Hayter.
Britt Baker.
Okay,
Hey man, hey man, when we gonna start being real about what we seeing, brother?
go ahead, do it.
You talk about you talk about Jamie Hayter and how when she was champion the appeal. You talk about Mariah May, how you don't really see the appeal. The appeal is they can work. God damn it, they can work. Mercedes
Mm.
had a goddamn good match with Ronda Rousey, for Christ's sakes. She go out there with fucking Britt Baker, and it looked like goddamn when they say you can wrestle a broomstick, she was wrestling a goddamn broomstick.
Oh, stop it! Don't do that. Listen, I know Britt Baker's been through a lot with her injuries. So,
Oh
but
man.
no, dead ass. And I'm not sure if that plays into her speed, but I've seen her have. Don't We're not gonna sit here and act like Britt Baker can't work. She's had plenty of great matches before her injuries. Was this the match I thought it was going to be? It was cool. It wasn't the best match of the card. It wasn't the worst match of the card either. It was decent, you know. Um, and Mercedes got the victory. So we'll see how this continues um, to evolve, you know. But I would like to see it again, honestly. Two dash and mirror, Mercedes
That's
on top.
I
Damn
think
right.
that's my young boy Jameer, if I'm not mistaken. What's up,
What's
young
good?
boy? Take your young ass to sleep, boy.
Oh boy.
Let me call
But
your mom and tell you, I was just say, what's up, brother? How you
yeah,
doing, baby?
yeah, but Mercedes, getting the victory. I think it's the right decision. Honestly, I think she's got more to give as a TBS champion.
No, and to
Um,
your point, I think to your point of Britt Baker, I'm not gonna be too facetious here in how I speak, even though I think the toothpaste already out the tube. I am gonna say that she the match was a little clunky in times and spots and everything like that. But I am I was never really a big fan. Right? I knew that in certain cases, like she can get really good heat. She can play her role particularly well. When we know Mercedes to put on these fucking again, we talk about she's not Danielson esque, but she paints very. You know what I'm saying? Like she may not be Basquiat or
she's
Picasso,
a worker, man. She can go. We
she
know that she can
she
have a
may
great
be.
match.
You know what I'm saying? She paints well, and she's a good worker. And like I said, she had a good match with Ronda Rousey and got really good psychology out of the match and worked a really good match. I think if she would have played into Britt Baker being rusty and being a little bit winded and being a little bit of gassed and stuff like that, that probably could have played into the match well, even because it was slow, right? The placement of the match was very much,
And this is
kind of.
their first time ever linking, so maybe the next time they'll have more chemistry. But we all know, at least for me, the intrigue was with these two girls or women, I should say, were was the promos because I wanted to because Britt Baker can talk on the mic and her promos were all good going into this match.
And
Uh,
I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not. I'm sorry again. Like the three matches before this one, including like the triple threat tag, the gauntlet match, and MJF and Osprey. Like that really put the women in the tough spot to have that quote unquote slow down type of
okay,
match.
yeah, that's tough. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah, because people are like on a high at that point, but it wasn't a bad match though. It wasn't, like it wasn't like I'm sitting here watching Hook and Jericho. It was actually, a decent match, and I, I'm cool with it. But not everything has to be 5 stars, quote unquote. But I enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't nothing crazy though.
all in all, AEW All In was a really good show. 1 p.m., 1:30 starts is
Oh
magnificent.
yes.
I mean,
I wish we could move all their shows to the UK. But yeah, we're gonna be back to 1 p.m. shows next month with All Out or yeah, All Out.
no,
So
7
there's
p.m.
that.
shows. 7 p.m. shows. You said we'll be back to 1 p.m. shows with All Out. No, we'll be back to.
I mean 1 a.m. shows because we're probably gonna be up till 1 a.m.
No, yeah, absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
I think they put the title. Also, we had to remember, which I just looked up. I just looked up. AEW is having Wrestle Dream in October. Wrestle Dream is in October, and that's in Tacoma, Washington.
Bet.
So that is after All Out, but that's going to be in Brian Danielson's backyard, and
So
it's
it's gonna be
going to held in the honor of Antonio Inoki, that type of situation. So I'm assuming Danielson is going to have some type of match leading into
yeah.
Washington and stuff like that.
All right, that's cool. We'll stay tuned with that. Stay tuned with Russell Dream. I think we're gonna if it's in Washington, they might bill it as his last match for a while. If that's the case. Um, I'm not sure, but we'll
Yeah,
see.
that might be a nice. Hey, that's how you sell tickets.
Yeah,
Hey, AEW, we hear you got a ticket selling problem. Last time Danielson is in the state of Washington, or the last time he's in Tacoma, or the last time he's gonna be by goddamn where is he from? Aberdeen? From
Albert in
Aberdeen.
Washington.
Nigga, the last time, come buy this ticket, frame it. Matter of fact, we want to sell this building out and make it as loud as possible. Because what I'm hearing is that them niggas be having 13,000 seat arenas and be having 2,500 people in there. They be,
Uh,
bro,
brother. Fuck.
the numbers that they saying is that it be fucking 80%, 85%, 90% empty in the motherfucking arenas, bro.
Listen, it wasn't like that tonight, Wembley. I'm gonna leave it at that because they had a good night today. I'm gonna leave on a high note. Congratulations, AEW, and for having another successful all in show. I'm not gonna cover those other matches. You
No,
guys,
we good on that. We'll
you got
cover
other
that.
people for that. Hit up the other podcast for that.
Yeah, everybody that did their podcast. Go check out Eric, the homies, Black Guy Wrestling,
Mhm.
Public Enemy, those girls, those wrestling girl, like anybody, Jobber Tears, whoever you want to go, A Show, black black
Just
black
going through everybody.
black table, right? Like nigga, whoever you want to goddamn go,
Russell Rap.
nigga, whoever. We ain't talking about no goddamn Jericho Hook. We ain't talking about no
Jungle
goddamn
Jack shit.
Jungle Jack. Go Jungle Jack off. Fuck that motherfucker.
Oh shit, man! But it was
Yo,
good. It was a
Jack
good show
says, nigga,
overall.
I got more hair. No, this nigga got pubic hair on his chest. He's standing there. What is this? Who is he, Raven? He looks like a guy, nigga. Oh, man. He pisses me off. Why did you
He's,
say his name? He pisses me the fuck off.
I mean, he's a heel and it's working. I'm just saying. But
He,
if just his name could get you like that, then yeah, it's working, man.
but he's not Dom though. I would turn off his segments with Jungle Jack shit. Dom, I'm watching this segment and I'm still booing him and I don't like him and I think he's a piece of shit.
Okay, all right, if you say so. Well, there's a lot of people that are booing him and watching. I'm just saying.
I mean, that is
Lo-
true.
Logo TV Unlimited. Thank you for the sub. Appreciate you.
Yes, yes. Um, well, shit. Um, yeah, man. I don't have anything else because
Salute.
that that match, the rest of those matches were. I think we had a damn. We had a 16-man tag match on the pre-show. Then we had a 10-man tag on the pre-show. We talked about the 4-way ladder match that had 4 teams of 3 niggas. So y'all do the
Yo,
math.
what is did Alicia Hart come back?
Who?
Is her name Alicia Hart?
Who was Alicia Hart?
Julia Hart, excuse me.
Oh, bro. No, I don't see her
Right.
coming.
I was hoping she was gonna show up in that ladder match. I was hoping she was gonna help them win it, but because she's been
He
gone for a
did that
minute,
already, though.
she did it again. Shit, fuck it,
I mean,
work.
I think she's still hurt, though, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, we'll get well soon. All right. Other than that, let's just hit up just quickly anything to talk about with WWE in the week that was. I know we had
Nah,
John. I know we liked John Cena's. John Cena was on the Shin and Shay Sharp show, Club Shay Shay. Check it out. It's a really good interview with John Cena. Give a lot of insight on the business, a lot of insight on his role going forward, his farewell tour next year, um, and what he plans to do and make it fun for us. So, John, like I said to him, John, before they even came back, I was talking to Chris. I was like, "Yo, John Cena just seems like a genuine dude." And this interview made me even more respect him even more. So definitely check that out.
also, he cussed just like me and Vernon Maxwell. So shout out to John Cena.
Yeah, man, it was cool to see him be himself, like just like chill out, So check out John Cena on Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay. Um, Other than that, we're just gonna take it easy with the shows because there's nothing going on with WWE. They're still gearing up towards Berlin. I'm not really feeling the build towards what's his name, Randy Orton and Gunther. The match is gonna be fire, but the build has been really mid. Um, so we'll just stay tuned on that. We're gonna be
I mean,
seeing.
calling Randy a fuck up is and saying things that's been handed to him is kind of like,
It's so
you know.
2009. It's so 2010 and 9 and shit. Like it's
I
fucked up.
mean, is it not a story though? Like, what? I mean,
It's
is that?
I'm saying it's a story that's mid. Yeah, it is a
No,
story.
I'm asking. I mean, but I mean, like, if we're talking real spiel, right? When they say if I'm making a professional wrestler, it's out of a lab. I'm making Randy Orton. They don't say that about Gunther. Gunther really did out the like. I'm not from
That's
Germany.
a better that what you just said.
I'm
That's a good premise for an angle. Listen, they call you the prototype of what it means to be a professional wrestler. I'm that in real life. I'm really that. That I've been would have been that would have been a good premise for a storyline. Him calling Randy a fuck up and that your dad was a fuck up, you're a fuck up. Dude, this guy's a grown ass man.
Damn,
He's a
WWE,
legend.
all you gotta
He's
do is pay me in weed and Jack Daniels, and I can write some good shit, brother.
You feel me? Like that's better. And you know it would have been more impacting. Like what Gunther said was weak because we all know that this guy is a living legend, a bona fide Hall of Famer. Like a first ballot. So it doesn't matter if he was a fuck up. None of that matters anymore. You're talking. It's not like you're talking to a Braun Breaker who was a fuck up while he's fucking up, or somebody who's young in the game, and you're saying like the reason why you're not where I'm at is because you fucked up. No, like we don't care about Brandon Orton fuck up. He's almost turning into a legacy act at this point in his career. It worked, even if he was a fuck up. Like, it don't matter. So this angle with Gunther, I'm not feeling it, but I do like to. I really am looking forward to the match, but I don't think that's gonna be anything that's gonna help Randy Orton out. I think it's just gonna be another notch on Gunther's belt.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Um, yeah, Bash at Berlin this next week.
All right. Pat, we got
Um,
one more. We got the go home shows this week.
yeah, so
I think
that's
we're gonna see Uncle Howdy in the ring tomorrow. I think that's gonna be good to check out.
but we got the Terror Twins against Dirty Diamond Liv, Cody and KO, Gunther and Randy, and the Unholy Union versus Bianca and Jade. Those are the matches that on the card so far.
Bet.
So therefore, we got some more things to get into possibly, but yeah, right now, Bash of Berlin, this past week, like you say, wrestling. Like I said, I wasn't really geared up for wrestling until you know.
What do you
Uh,
think about Solo taking the tag title away from Joker Fatu and giving it to Tangaloa?
it makes sense.
Okay, there you have it.
It
All's
makes
love. Everything's go ahead.
and I was saying that it makes sense. It makes sense because again, Tonga and Tama are tagged. They are brothers. I think that that kind of makes a little bit more sense. And I think they're a little bit more susceptible to losing those titles with Tama and Tonga holding it.
I
Can't
love it.
really lose those titles without Jacob, right? So if you need to move those titles around, get something going with other people, kind of like what they did at the end of SmackDown, where you got DIY and Street Profits at the end fighting with the bloodline. You can have a triple threat where you can lose those titles and it not hurt Jacob because Jacob can't take a loss, right?
Yeah,
So I think it makes sense.
I agree with you 100%. I'm with it, and I think what they did it in a great way, where it was Solo setting as trouble chief, setting the order. Um,
And
but
he
yeah,
said, and he's like, yo, you can't be my enforcer and be a tag champion. And I'm like, that makes sense. Like you can't be. I need you. You can't be tethered and being involved. So I
man.
mean, I can send you or displace you to be on tag team missions to fuck up the division or whatever the case may be. But no, I need, and I think that makes a lot of sense.
When you're head of the tribe, when you're tribal chief and you're head of the table, you gotta delegate resources, in the right place. So you want to bring your enforcer a little bit closer to you and be the guy who's gonna
I
protect
mean,
your
you can't
six.
be the right hand man when you somebody else right hand man because you're a tag team, you know what I mean, partner and shit like that. So you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying. You're a little bit more distant than I am as a right hand man. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying. So,
So I
but
fuck with
yeah,
that.
I
But
fuck
I think that with it being said, the week that was WWE side of things was not crazy, not nothing of real crazy eventful. I did like Monday Night Raw with the Terror Twins and how they handle things there with the Diamond stuff building. We're not getting Finn and Damian Priest, so I think that I see them lose. I think Damian Priest and Rhea losing, maybe due to Finn's interference, but I'm willing to see where this goes. We'll take a gander tomorrow. I'll take a look at Raw tomorrow and see where it goes. All right. Anything else you want to talk before we get up out of here?
Nah, man, we can wrap it up, baby boy. It's about 10:45. I
Okay.
told my wife I'm not helping with the kids because I had them, but I am drinking, and I'm about to probably play some online man until I decide to go crash on the couch.
All right, man. You have a good night. And you guys also have a good night. Thank you for liking, subscribing, and joining us tonight, talking about all the week that wasn't wrestling. We'll see y'all next week for Real Wrestling Podcast. Like us on RW Podcast 1 on Twitter and Real Wrestling Podcast everywhere else. As I always say, all is love and everything is wrestling. We'll see y'all next week.
Peace.